Hello everyone and welcome to the discussion on trio of knowledge when it comes to marketing, when it comes to the brain versus the gut versus the private parts, and the tingles that the women and men in business of marketing are trying to persuade you and convince you to purchase. And it's even more than purchasing, but it's also agreeing to a brand. And honestly, those brands just don't work. So it's a little, if you're young, it's more complicated to be aware of that, because when you're in your 20s, your body has more hormones. When you're in your 40s, those hormones diminish. So let me just lay this out real quick so we can get to the main focus of this in a concrete information. Get it out there, give it all you got, info for you to listen. You meet somebody who is so-called branding and imaging themselves. The image is how they look, how they occur to you. It's all an image, it's not real. Every human being has negatives, and a lot of them have all negatives that's disguised by a fake smile of positivity. That's image. So you meet someone at a marketing event like Cannes Lions, and you have an instant judgment on liking them. However, your brain gives you a message to tingle in the privates, which then makes your stomach turn. That's the message. To where you then light up your brain and say, that's not business, that's prostitution. Your first sign when it comes to business is, how do they look? How do they speak? What are they all about? Is basically taking a look at what they're up to in the form of how they walk, how they show up in a room. Like if I showed up in a room like this, your first sign is don't come talk to me. I'm better than you. Although you're a billionaire, Elon, and I want something from you. See, the people that are in the high scales and the high world stage know that everybody wants something from them. And then those people who are the bad ones will use those people to get what they want. That's the game of what they're up to at this time. So they also know if they're up to the real deal stuff is they don't participate in that behavior, but they know how to participate in the behavior without getting the tinglies in their privates. But that is what the women count on to hurt other people, which is the tingles. So for example, you're married, like Gary's married to me, right? And all you women want something for your businesses. But the problem is you don't have anything to offer from the business, nor have you done any effort to create content for the work. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get Gary to pay attention to you because you're trying to, what you think day trading attention is. So you go up to him and he's got a video circulating about a woman who's this is how people really operate. Whispers in his ear how to, some sort of conversation around her child and the internet and how to keep her child safe. And she leans in to whisper as if she's whispering some secret. It might be a little loud in the room, however, it's inappropriate. So it's like, why would you participate in that? Obviously, we know Gary Vee's undercover and all that stuff, but this is real shit that goes down at a conference when no one's professional. When no one's professional and the lead space is unprofessional, then the people that show up are unprofessional and they're all really not up to shit. But then they're talking as if they're up to something. So you talk as if you're up to something. You're all talking about how to inspire people and all this other nonsense, but all these young people are up to is they're looking for the tingles. which means they don't really want to be in the dirt. They just want to be in the clouds. Although people who live in the clouds, they don't help other people. They just live in the clouds. They just live in the clouds, and then they steal all the light and then go on a platform and a stage and teach people like Marie Forleo about how she became a business person, but it's not real. It's not true to the story of how she actually became a business professional. Which means that you all are lying your asses off trying to control people into submission so that they don't succeed, while telling people you want them to succeed. Why would you tell people that you want them to succeed? Because you want to make money. And you want people to like you, and you want people to worship you, and you want fans and followers so that you can go to the gala. So when we talk about gut, your gut does tell you, your brain tells you, your gut tells you, and it's all associated to the tingles of your privates. That is your sign that that's a bad business encounter. Meaning when you meet someone and you're like, wow, that was really crazy. That's not professional. That's not professional. Which means if they act like this at a event that's a professional conference where they party. Now, there's a way to party in business that's not like partying like Alex Earl does as her form of business. What you're doing is you don't care about anyone on the planet, specifically speaking to the infants. And so then you teach everyone else that's how business is done. And so then they think that they have to behave like that. And then it gets so out of control that we're learning gut health from a fake pharmacist who literally puts weird tinctures in people's drinks to subdue them into submission while she tingles their private part so that she can look a certain way to a community that she doesn't even like. Nor does she have anything to offer, just like the rest of these women. So they're all like, it's like sitting on stage and going, this is a shoe. This is a box. This is a highlighter. Literally, that's what they're doing at this festival right now in Cannes Lions. And the real marketing actually is networking people to get something for these marketers, where they then take that information and spew that onto you as audience as if you don't matter. That's the machine that everybody always complains about. Yet you're always agreeing to the behavior. So I always talk to you about this. I always talk to you about this. You go up to somebody who's attractive, like that's your first sign. Your first sign is, how do they look? How do they talk? What's their demeanor? What's their content? And then you go to that, in the old ways, this is how you would communicate in the United States of America. However, it's not safe to do this to anyone any longer because they rob you of your joy and light because they don't have anything to offer. They don't have nothing to offer. So all they do is sell on seduction. Oh, I'm going to actually demonstrate this for y'all. I'm going to actually I always like to use Gary because you guys don't know you have no self-control over this shit. It's the weirdest shit I've ever heard in my life. When you're in dentistry, you do not operate like this. You operate like a professional. If you're in the medical field, you know the way that Monovan operates is not someone who's worked in the medical field. Pharmacists know that that woman is not a pharmacist. Yet the United States government is telling you that she is. And she's Persian. Neanderthal creation. And not like Neanderthal, like Jason Kelsey. They joked about that on a podcast. Now, this is like Neanderthals that grunted and had no intelligence. Jason's intelligent and has common sense. Moving on. Okay, here we go. I'm actually going to run into Gary Vee at a conference. Well, hello. How are you? It's so nice to see you. You're not supposed to agree. You're not supposed to agree. I got to do somebody else because he's agreeing to the behavior. Because he knows me. This is complicated. I got my cheek bit and I got some other bad energy coming through. Let's see. Let's try this again. I'm going to try to do this again. We're actually still going to stick with Gary Vee. Okay, Gary Vee's going to come up to me and I'm just going to have a real conversation about business. So that's one version of what they do at Cannes Lions. Next version. Hello. Well, hello, Gary. It's so very nice to see you. Yes, actually I have a really great product. I have it in my bag. Do you want to see it? Well, I know this sounds really crazy, and people aren't using paper as much as they used to. However, I'm infatuated with highlighters. I know it sounds ridiculous. And I have to say that I found these, and this company has closed, but I was instantly attracted to it because it wasn't bells and whistles. It was literally, it looks professional. It is literally selling me on it with this, I'll even say colorless, relaxed version so that I can learn something and them not sell me on something. And I was like really, really wondering if you'd be interested in investing in this product, in this adventure with me. And I also wanted to tell you that I was reading your book, and notice I haven't even I have a lot to say, don't I? Gary's gut is calm. Gary's head is inquisitive in business. He isn't even thinking about the sex that the other women are trying to around us because they don't want me talking to him because they want their opportunity to tingle him. And guess what tingles are? He thinks of his sister. And that's not attractive to have sex with your sister. And his sister knows that. So when it comes to gut, you all don't, your energy announces it's yourself when you enter into the room. So if someone's like this, whoa, shit. That's intuition. It says, I don't want to do business with that because that's how you actually are on the platform because you're not secure in yourself. So because no one actually likes you, you have to make up a brand gimmick to do things you don't really like to do because what you're actually chasing is fame and fortune. And that's the evidence of what all these people are up to when it comes to Cannes Lions. So no information meets no information is nothing more than a waste of money and a waste of time and learning convincing, conniving experiences so that a small group of people can win while you abuse and manipulate audiences. That's really the truth of it. And then you're going to try to deny it, but you're literally wearing an outfit that is super inappropriate. You don't know business, you only know Hollywood. And we all know that Cannes is it's actually worse than Hollywood. Take a look at the backdrop here. Actually, I was looking at this, and this is actually a really great potential background for my new podcasting that I'm about to start doing. That's creative. I didn't stage anything. This is my house. This is my what's it called? This is the hotel that I'm at in Cannes Lions. You know the truth. I'm in Cannes Lions right now. Where's my content? Who's experiencing my content the most? That would be Can's Lions. So that's where I'm at, right? Gut, brain. Sometimes gut tingles because you have to do things that you don't want to do. That means going up to someone you don't like and talking calmly to them even though you want to freaking strangle them. It doesn't always come from you either. It comes from them and how they experience you. But that's because you experience the extreme dislike of this person. So when Mona Van's around Gary Vee, her stomach is in knots because she's afraid. She's afraid of him. She doesn't like him. He doesn't like her at all. He cannot stand her. So that's gut. That's what you all in all relationships are dealing with when it comes to influencing. And then you produce content together and then you spew that energy of gut nasty all over everybody, but everybody's just paper chasing. This isn't unique to these two people. They're not even a couple. They're literally, Gary's showing you how shallow you all are. That is what they're trying to make the new world order. A Persian who has no boundaries, who can do whatever she wants. And that's the form of democracy that they're, as Democrats globally, are trying to create with the help of Can's Lions. You don't have a moral bone in your body. You don't have a moral bone in your body because you're literally talking. This is the problem I have with all of this shit. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. You don't have no fucking experience. You got no compassion or empathy for anyone. Yet you talk as if you have compassion for everyone. The friendliness of hello to hello needs to be a no thank you. Because that agreement for a hello is them trying to get you a tingle. That's called your own death. And then you may sit there and say that you are so strong. But I'm going to tell you right now, you don't know what you're messing with when it comes to those women who look like Kim Kardashian, because you could hold Kim Kardashian next to Mona Van and you won't be able to tell the difference. And that means all of you at Can's Lions are walking around like clones of each other with no personality, trying to seduce people versus actually get educated to help an audience. So what does that tell you why you're actually at Can's Lions? You're at Can's Lions while you tell people you're all about learning for other people, for your own selves. You're there for your own self. So this is what it would look like in the old days, like especially coming from a place of dentistry. Because I've been to tons, bigger than Can's Lions is a dental conference in Atlanta, Georgia. And I've been to it several times. And the one in Colorado, I've been to that one too. Been to a lot of different CE courses where I actually learn more business skills in one event than you have in your entire week at Can's Lions, because you're all fluffing frou-frou talking about garbage. See, the thing with dentistry is it's offering a service with actual factual information, which is the same thing that you're dealing with your marketing shit, except you don't have common sense because none of you have any fucking clue what you're doing. What was I saying? The hello to hello, the conference. And that's what you like to do to your customers, is get them to forget who they are so that you can look cool and climb the corporate ladder versus actually deliver to your customer. Here they come. Thank you. When the old days, you would bring your highlighters. You would even look good. You would even have a professional outfit on. It's called business casual. And then you would say, well, at the conference this year, I heard they're going to be speaking about AI. And and this is really true, I'm very interested on hearing the advancements of AI. So I can see how I can incorporate it into my marketing strategy so I can assist my customers in seeing the benefits of what I have to sell. Instead, you show up with a bikini top, intimidating everyone around you, juicy juice. You didn't really think that that's a marketing strategy, did you? You didn't really think that going to Turkey and showing yourself off weird ass body shape was a marketing strategy. You don't think people actually want to see that shit, do you? Do you really think that people are wanting to see you erotically stand next to someone while you proclaim yourself to be a wellness expert or a marketing expert or whatever expert you claim to be, which is all just marketing? You didn't really think that that was going to fly for an audience. That you running around erotically rubbing on an infant was going to sell a strategy to people in a form of what you would call either entertainment or education. But instead, with these companies globally, because you got to remember the internet is global, they were willing to snatch all this shit up and run with this shit to downplay every form of human characteristic, whether you were French, whether you were Australian, and create nothing but zombies showing off an infant. That's called child abuse. Yet you claim you have empathy and compassion. You proclaim that you have empathy and compassion, yet look at the content you're producing, Celtics. Look at what your wives and your fiancés and your girlfriends are producing as content. They're ruining your careers, yet you don't say anything. While she abuses your mother so that you can be a new Travis Kelce, because that was your plan. So you're abusing your mother, you're abusing your fans, you're abusing the audience so that she can get her rocks off with a rock on her finger while she tells everybody what outfit she has in while you look like you got beat to a pulp. And that's what you think, entrepreneurship, while you don't care about anyone else except for your own success, while everyone on the team of the Celtics thinks the same thing, because these people ain't no Jason or Travis Kelce who got balls. So now what we got going on in sports, especially in basketball, is nothing more than a bunch of ballless men competing with a man on a woman's sports team, while a black woman is more talented and less corrupt than the white girl who looks like a man. And then the black girl makes less than the white girl, and now we got some real racist problems, don't we? But don't forget who Ashton Kutcher's supporting. And that's what we're dealing with when it comes to the tingle factor of the gut and the brain and how it's all connected. You do know that there's bacteria in the gut, right? Because everybody wants to schmooze you over with a fake wellness conversation of the gut and the bacteria and all that other bullshit. Yet all they say is there's gut bacteria, you need a probiotic. Well, I'm going to tell you, if I take a probiotic, all I get is a fluffy gut where I am either constipated or I fart. Or I'm constipated and I don't fart. And that's what a probiotic does for me. So now what, pharmacist? You going to give me a drug? Just because a fake pharmacist or a fake person who has no degree or no education in medical, because they look good and they live in LA, you're going to trust that you're going to take a nighttime gummy coffee or whatever the shit is that Violet and Scout's fake parent is up to. Well, I'm just going to whitewash everybody. And then show you a fake picture of me as a kid that's literally doctored, and I think it might actually be northwest face. So if you are normal in a brain of human, you would know that all of this shit that you're watching globally is a bunch of fucking garbage. You've agreed to this behavior as normal. You've been controlled into thinking that you like it when you actually don't feel good ever anymore. And so they're recreating what joy and happiness is to be money and clout for them, while you haven't quite received your victimization quite yet from the Democratic Party, globally, folks. But their plan and their goal is for them to succeed and to strain out those of you who are the good people who actually work for a living, so that only people who are shallow, self-centered, and have nothing to offer can thrive financially, can have all the hope and love and joy and all that other bullshit that they're spouting off, keep it for themselves, and then wave it and dangle it like a carrot in your face while you chase them by buying all their shit. While you work your ass off, age not gracefully, while they get plastic surgery, while they tell you that looking like a monkey face is the new norm. And then you agree to that. The problem is I said, and then you agree to that. Did you agree to what I just said? Did you agree to the fact that you want to see a monkey face? Can you imagine Phoenix Hilton? Phoenix Vaynerchuk. I said he could keep the last name Hilton. He said, no, I want Vaynerchuk. I said, okay. Going to a party at Kim Kardashian's house, and this shit all up in your face, and you're an infant. But nobody thinks like that. They're not nice. They're not friendly. It's not safe. Why do you think infants are trying to walk at 5 days old? To get away from you. You're abusive. When you have millions of energies on you and you yell at a child, all those million energies go onto the kid. And I've been training and teaching them how to deliver it back onto you as a parent and to you as audience. And you'll never be able to learn how to do it. Only human people can do this. Only humans can do this. And that's really exciting to know that the youth, the infants, will understand the brain-gut tingle and how that's ineffective. The only time you want to feel the butterflies of joy is when you meet that special someone in your life. And the rest is education and entertainment. And then figuring out what that even means, because you don't know what any of that is. You don't know shit. None of you know shit, yet you're pretending like you do. And then you want to talk about my jiggly arm? Because that's how you then retaliate to someone who calls you out on your shit, while you then say, I love feedback. Wow, I really don't think you actually do. So they're not only lying sacks of crap who have nothing to offer. When you don't agree to what they say, they then judge the shit out of you in inappropriate ways. Now that doesn't bother me, because I literally went to the gym today and I'm like a badass when it comes to that shit. However, you aren't. So if you want to take a look at what anorexia looks like, take a look at Paris Hilton, take a look at Monovan, take a look at all these women who are proclaiming this and proclaiming that and proclaiming this, because that's actually what they're teaching you, and that's not a wellness expert. That's someone who starves themselves on a bean diet so that she can go to Cannes Lions and look like a twig. And then abuse you with tingles in your private parts so that she can get on this cover of Sports Illustrated, which is how Alex Earl got on the top of Sports Illustrated. I'm sure she's drunk right now. It's not very good leadership to have Democrats in charge, is it? Because those are all Democrats. Kim Kardashian's a Democrat. Those are the people that went to the White House to try to schmooze you all over, to put more lids on you, to be in control while they give birth, while you have a surrogate, which is you pregnant for $45,000, so that she can have a skinny body and do a movie while her kid is incubating, while proclaiming that her eggs weren't viable or whatever shit they say about the reason why they had a surrogate. So that's what the trade-off is for Kamala Harris when it comes to that conversation of reproductive freedom. Eugenics, because now they can decide if they want a girl or a boy or twins. And it's double the cost. It's $90,000 for a surrogate for twins. So you're not going to be able to afford an IVF surrogate. But someone who's rich and famous can. Or who's an influencer and doesn't want to get pregnant. And that's the real gist of the tingle evolution. That means no relationships with people anymore because you can't trust anyone. And that's what they're hoping for. That's what they want. They don't want you leaving your house, which is why they have the grocery shoppers now. They've invited migrants globally who come from third world countries with no education and not the same morals as you, so that they can get votes. Somehow they're going to finagle it, and they're already trying. Although those people, those spouses are American now because they married Americans. So now it's America first. So you make them American citizens, they're going to vote for Trump, because if they continue to do this, those new American citizens are going to end up homeless because you're giving all their money away to who? The new migrants. And now they're no longer safe. So Biden is completely clueless on how to do any of this. He's a dead man walking, and we all know that Obama is actually the clueless one because he's the one running the world right now. You do know that the G7 are all the people involved in this, right? G7 was your sign. Those are the people that are going to try to start the World War III so that they can fight over whatever dumb shit they're trying to fight for, which is actually the devil versus God, because they want a God like Allah so that Monavan can have her wishes. Her God is Allah. She just calls him God. If you speak Farsi, you ain't no Christian. You Christian Dior. If you wear a bikini to a business meeting, you ain't got nothing to say. I can't wait till all the rest of this communications come off of Gary Vee's interviews for all of you, because you better be ready. You're going to get your asses handed to you. My shit in the last day and a half is more valuable than anything you'll ever produce in your entire existence. You're not talented. You're not a good person. You don't have anything to say. You have no education. You're not fun to be around. You're not attractive. That duck face shit and this shit, that's stupid. This shit shows everything about who you fucking are. Whitewashed. That means work. Whew. All right, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm really loving this angle. I mean, really, this is really great. So we may actually be doing some shifting in the living room here. Very excited about that. to showcase this angle, this beauty, the light is perfect, the plants. This is the look. There's a formula. I'm like on a tangent a little bit, but not really. The formula is the formula, and they don't teach you the formula unless you're in the network. So I have a quick story to tell you that I'm really going to go. I was thinking about this last night when I was watching some people. There's a man out there who's trying to show up at some people's houses who are podcasters to set up the ideal podcasting. The concern is that you are selling something that you're not selling. You're showcasing it, telling everybody how good you are, and then not teaching people how to do it. So my confusion used to be is, how do I find a inexpensive set of equipment to have a background that looks like this with the microphone, with the setup, so it could look and be perceived as a podcast. So you may or may not have watched my podcast, and you probably thought in your head, that's no good, but that's because I don't have their formula. I worked off my own intelligence to deliver on valuable content. No, I'm not using the ASMR microphone. Honestly, it gives me nightmares. Although it didn't really give me nightmares yesterday. Actually, I'm actually cross-talking to myself because I'm thinking about ways to make my podcast setup more successful, which is kind of interesting, but neither here nor there. Bottom line is, these podcasters who are telling you how to be podcasters are not telling you how to be podcasters. They make brand deals with people. They don't like, this is what would be ideal. Do your research, use the product, and then offer the product at a reasonable price for your audience. No, this is what they do. Hey, will you showcase my product? Sure. This is what we're selling. Buy it. And then you get it and it's shit, or it's overpriced and it's not what you wanted, and you don't really even understand, because what they tell you is that a podcaster can be just anyone. And that is true. That's what Gary speaks to when he says, don't let the government, who's president, he always speaks to that. Anybody can do this, but you don't know what you're getting into to actually do it. That's what they also don't tell you. So none of these people are authentic and honest, and none of you, honestly, as an audience, really want to hear that you actually have to work. So Gary Vaynerchuk does it in a way because he's involved in the, what's it called? The undercover operation, that he tells you got to be in the dirt, but you all think you're going to be like Mona Van in the clouds while he pretends to be in the clouds. So never show people your weaknesses, never show people the truth, never show the real shit. And this is a new age shit, because if I always watch his content to get new ideas. But what I'm trying to tell you is that they're all liars. They're all hidden messages. It's lying. It's not real. They don't deliver on any form of real education to you. Do you understand? And then if you don't follow their way of doing it, you will not be successful. However, who's the exception? Well, that would be me. Because I said, I'm not going to do that shit. No fucking way. I don't give a fuck. I ain't doing that shit. And I'm also going to fight for children. I'm going to fight for the innocent, which I don't even know if there's any innocent adults out there at this point. And I'm going to stand by Trump, because I know that is the way that a country should be ran. And that means I will also stand by anybody who is leading their country, like Benjamin out of Israel. Even though the Democrat regime is trying to tell us nonsense, lies, and bullshit. Israel, 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 Israel. Support Israel. Fuck Palestine. Fuck the Middle East. And especially fuck those bitch-ass Persians. Fuck them. You want to know what a Shah is like? Go look at Shahs of Sunset and you'll be fucking embarrassed. The problem with them is they don't get embarrassed unless they get called out, and then they keep you in submission with their fake royalty. That's how they all work in Hollywood. It's a long story there, but we'll just actually stop the podcast at this level, at this point. I'm excited about the potential for the new layout of the podcast. I hope that everybody is having a great... No, I don't. I don't really hope you're having a great time. I hope you're in the dirt. I hope you're doing the work. And I hope you're trying to build for your audience. Protect your audience. If you're from the United States, you protect the United States. I'm going to let you all know that Elon and those Americans that are in Cannes are winning the space. Americans are winning the space of AI. I told you yesterday that Mark Zuckerberg, I'm just like super excited. Like the advancement that I saw yesterday while using his product is, I'm 100% sure that there's so much more that he has not shared so that he could perfect it in a way to protect his audience, which makes him the lead in the space. He is literally just giving you slow nuggets of the vast ability of what he is going to be capable of in a way that's so beneficial when used properly, and that would be my content. So I really want to give Mark Zuckerberg a huge applause and a shout out to his efforts and hard work. Now, reminding him that I will still be using all other products just because of the variety and what I'm able to do, because there's a lot. Actually, there's a lot. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. I can't keep going. I gotta stop on this podcast because I'm not gonna tell you that part. It's double-sided. You have to be able to be self-aware in the production of content and information when you're using a demon's filter. You lose your life, actually. But keep using your filters, whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and tell your mom and your friends. And that's it. That's it for now.